Happy Friday and welcome into another edition of Three Ring Circus. Potentially the last episode of season 1 of Three Ring Circus. We'll see what happens, but I just want to prepare people, let them down easy. This could be the last episode. And so I guess we're going out with a bang here. We're bringing on kind of Henry, but no one really cares about that. And our guy, Big Drive Spence from DNVR Golf. What up, Spence?
What up, dude? How are you guys? Thanks for having me on today. Appreciate that.
We are doing fantastic. Spencer woke me up with the best text I've ever woken up to today. It wasn't like sweet nothings. It was just, what did it say? Let me get it perfect. It said, "Your new leader." And it was a picture of Colin Morikawa. Because I had, of course, slept through his entire round, and I wake up, he shot 64, and that's my guy.
Amazing round from him. Incredible stuff. Just vaulting all the way up the leaderboard from essentially middle of the pack as after yesterday. So.
Yep. Who are you riding on this week?
I have Will Zalatoris, who is now withdrawn with a back injury. Tommy Fleetwood, who missed like 2 putts inside of 2 feet today, so that's fun. And Ricky Fowler, who's kind of just middle of the road Ricky, who he's been his whole career essentially.
Henry, did you get on anyone?
I didn't make any bets. I knew
You've
that
been like hitting on golf majors.
I know, but I haven't been. I knew I wasn't gonna be able to watch the first couple rounds because they're all in the middle of the night, and so I was like, okay, if you're not gonna watch, hold off, make some smart bets, pay attention, like wake up early Saturday, figure things out from there. So that's my plan.
Mase, did you have a pre-tournament pick?
No, I mean, I guess the obvious one would have been John Rahm.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm not following it day to day enough to have more than that kind of 35,000-foot take on it.
Me and Spence, the only ones grinding the tournament. Although this is like the only time that you get to have something nice to watch on TV when you go to work at 5 a.m.
Yeah, it was great. Yesterday, no one was in the pro shop. I woke up, got to work, and turned on the TV and just sat there in silence. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Beautiful thing. All right, we are going to get into a game here in a second. But first, I want to tell you about our friends over at MSU Denver. msudenver.edu/online. They are the presenting sponsors of this show. They are great. And like I always say, if you're looking to maintain a full-time job and further your education, there's no better place than MSU Denver. MSU Denver students work twice as many hours as students attending any other Colorado institution. So go get that degree while keeping a job, get that money at the same time. msudenver.edu/online. All right. So I want to start with this, and this is the headline of the show, so I hope you guys have some good answers here. Henry, I'll start with you. What is your dream Denver Broncos foursome on the golf course?
Oh wow! So am I one of them? So
You're
pick
the
3?
fourth.
Okay.
Yes.
Currently on the team or all time?
Anytime, all time.
Wow, that makes it really hard. There's so many different ways you could go. Like I feel like it'd be really easy to say like, well, Peyton,
yes,
Elway,
yes,
like Terrell Davis, another one of just like the big stars.
Terrell Davis has way too big of shoulders to be good at golf.
That means I win the money, right? I assume those guys are playing for money. But I guess in terms of like personalities, I don't know.
Shannon Sharp.
Exactly. Like he came to mind. He'd be a fun one. He'd probably be like yelling in your backswing and stuff though.
Vaughn. He's big
Vaughn's
on the
right
golf grind right now.
Vaughn is absolutely in the group. He's the mix of all that. And Shannon Sharp's also in the group. And the final
need someone
one
kind of low key to balance that out. And that's you know what?
Okay.
So someone who's kind of the glue of the group. And I have played golf with Steve Atwater.
Ooh.
And I don't think I could go on this show if I didn't say Steve Atwater's in my dream golf foursome.
The Broncos. That's fair.
Yep.
Have had very good times playing golf with Steve.
That's a good one. He's another one who's a blend of being like all pro, Hall of Fame now type of player.
He'll talk a little crap, but he'll do it kind of in that nice way.
Lovingly.
Exactly. The smile and assassin way.
Yes. Huh. What about you, Spence?
So a couple that I would go with, I actually was supposed to play in a group with John Elway once at a Pro-Am, and it got snowed out.
Oh, my God.
I was so sad. I just signed up for it. It's like a PGA Pro from Colorado and an AM, and I signed up for it, and then they sent the pairings out and it was like the pro from Cherry Hills, and it said Jay Elway, and I was like, no. I was like, this cannot be happening.
This is gonna be Jay.
I was like, this is gonna be the greatest day of my life. And then it got snowed out because it was like October. I was so bummed. This is probably like 5 or 6 years ago, and I even called my AM, and I was like, yeah, we're playing with John Elway. He's like, no, we're not. And I'm like, yeah, it's on the tee sheet, and it got snowed out.
Wait, you said it was October?
Yeah.
What's he doing playing a pro-am during the season?
Well, no, I'm lying. It was May. It was early in the year. So it was like April, May. One of the first events of the year, probably 2017 or 18.
Yeah, when you said that October, I'm like,
yeah,
he's the GM of an NFL team. What's he doing playing a
pro-am? It wouldn't surprise me.
Let's not act like he doesn't play golf during the season.
I mean, but it's kind of working in that quick 9 during the season. Now this year, on the other hand,
who knows?
All bets are off.
I bet you he was averaging over 72 holes a week during his entire tenure.
Over under on 72 and a half. That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
He's a good player. But one guy I would definitely include in my foursome that I don't know if he gets really known as a Bronco, but like John Lynch. I think John Lynch would be great to play golf with. And pick his mind now, building the 49ers the way he has. I think that'd be a cool guy to talk to and not only play golf with. Like, I'm very picky about the people I play golf with. They don't have to be good.
That makes me feel good.
They don't have to be bad. Like, they don't have to be anything. Like, some people are like, oh, I only play with good players, or, oh, I don't want to play with anyone that's way better than me, etc. I just like to play golf with people that I like, and then and then past that, I don't care how good or bad they are. It doesn't affect my game.
All I care about is how do you act when things go wrong?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to risk, like, oh, God, they're in the water off the first tee, and now I've got 18 holes of misery next to this person in the cart, you know? Like, like, I don't care if you're terrible as long as you have a smile on the whole day. I don't care if you're the best player if you suck to be around when you don't play well. It's all about just how you act when things go awry.
It's all about the vibes you give off.
And, like, you can, like, I feel like you have like 12 steps between when you hit your shot and when you get back to the cart to like shake it off. You know, you're like mad that you hit your shot. That's fine. Then you get back in the cart. It's like time to turn it around.
Yeah, you can have a bad day, but don't ruin everybody else in your group's day.
So that leads into why I wouldn't have John Elway in my dream foursome. There's just no way he's cool when he's not playing well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's way too competitive. So I think like Peyton absolutely is would just be number one overall pick if we were drafting this. And then you mentioned having someone low key in the group. We get all time here. I'd love to have Pat Bolin in my group.
Ooh,
I think he would be incredible. And then the last one is tough. Like, I like the Steve pick. I think Shannon Sharp would definitely be a good time, although he's kind of like rubbed me the wrong way over the last couple years.
He's a radio guy.
You got to get him away from Skip Bayless.
Yeah,
I think Skip is a bad influence on him.
I think so too. And then I also think like Mike Shanahan would be a great person to have in there. Although another one who might not be fun if he's not playing well.
Yeah, and the thing with Mike is you want to get him to open up and tell stories, but he's so kind of tight-lipped about now he's doing the QB Collective stuff, and he won't kind of reveal the secrets. And he said that he's not going to write a biography. He's not going to do the Bill Walsh thing of basically putting out the template of how he went about his coaching life and his techniques and all that, because he doesn't want to tip people off. The only thing that he's done is he wrote a kind of a business self-help book with Adam Schefter back in the day. So I'm not sure he would see if you're out there for 4 hours with somebody and you want some stories, right? You want to talk.
Absolutely.
And I'm not sure that Mike would be as forthcoming with some of the stories as others might be.
You know who
Kyle
probably
Shanahan,
knows? Oh yeah,
I
Kyle
think
Shanahan
would though.
You know
I'd
who
play with Kyle
knows most of the same stories as Mike Shanahan, who would probably be a little more open and a little more of a good time. Gary Kubiak.
True. That's a good point.
I think another great one would be a current player. Definitely is Brandon McManus. Because he's a good stick.
Yeah, he's a stick. Yeah.
And he is. Like, he seems like a good time. I actually have hopefully something in the works for that to actually happen.
Ooh.
Coming up soon.
So Spence, you said you only like to play golf with people you like. You also happen to make the pairings at the DNVR Golf League every week. And Eric here in the comments says, I can't help but notice I keep not getting paired with you in the golf league.
Okay, well, let me clarify something here real quick. So last week, Eric, we were paired together until Adam came along and decided he wanted to play. And like Adam, I'm like scared to pair him with anyone else other than Eric. Eric is Adam's like wubby.
His like cat.
So like
if
if Adam's playing, Eric has to be with him. That's just kind of how I pair it. So Eric, we were together last week until Adam came in last minute. But if you noticed a couple weeks ago, we played together, had a great time. So sorry about that, Eric. I really do like it.
Please put Adam's wubby in your Twitter bio, Eric. That's your new title. Put
Adam's golf wubby.
Yes. Do you think that about me and Henry too? Because we're always paired together.
I generally like to have like 2 DNVR people and then 2 members or 2, community people. So
Fair.
And then I
Makes
try to
sense.
play with. I've played with every single DNVR Golf member.
Oh, nice.
So I like move myself around.
Just keep dodging Eric. He sucks to
Yeah.
play with.
That is true.
No, I actually played with Eric last Sunday. It was a good time. All right. We're staying on the golf theme a little bit here. Obviously, we have Big Drive Spence and the Open Championship. I'm going to call it what they want me to call it. Like, the only way I would fight this is if the U.S. Open, they wanted to be called the Open Championship. Then I would just take the side of the U.S. But you know what? If that's what they want to call it, I'm cool with calling it.
Britain and Scotland in particular, although it's not in Scotland this week, they get dibs on this.
Right. They
Since
did
the game
start
started there.
The game.
Yeah.
That is true.
Do you
It's-
think Henry's? I think Henry's on the other side.
I mean, I just really hate it. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not sure that I can say like it's wrong, but I can say that I really hate having to call it the Open. I mean, we were talking about before this, like you have to download the Open app. Like, how dumb does that sound to say? Like, it just
and there's no
It's
like
the British
easy things
Open.
that,
You
like-
open the Open app. I mean,
It's-
y'all in the colonies have to come up with these complaints.
but like, there's no way to shorten it. Like before, you just say the British, and like the Open. It just if you said that to like someone who doesn't follow golf, they wouldn't know what you were talking.
And that's the
about.
thing is like golf is like super exclusive, and I feel like a lot of people get like they kind of get off on the fact that like the Open, and then casuals are like, which Open? Like is U.S. Open, British Open? It's like you don't know that. Like, and there's some of those
Australian
vibes
Open,
that
Scottish
play
Open.
that makes it feel.
Well,
Like,
Wimbledon is the championships. It's a peculiar British thing. The championships.
Did they
The
start
Open.
tennis too?
I don't know who started tennis. I have to look that one up.
and that's the bigger one to me. Is that like we just gotta call it like the U.S. Golf Open, the not British, just the Golf Open, I guess, for the British one.
Golf
But like I hate how there's like a U.S. Open tennis, U.S. Open, it just gets confusing, and I think clarity should be what we're focused on here.
You also seemed a little bothered by the fact that the winner gets named the champion golfer of the year.
I mean, like sure they started the game like maybe because like 300 years ago that happened, 500 years ago, more than that probably.
Who
Like
knows?
they get to decide who the champion is, but like the Masters, I think is a really cool tournament too. Like why can't that be the one that decides who the champion of golf is?
Cooler name too.
Yeah, a little bit.
Also, but we get that one because there's also the British Masters, but we just get to call ours the Masters.
But it doesn't compare though. Like I feel like that's one where there's a very clear.
Difference, yeah.
The Masters is the best tournament in golf.
I agree.
The British Masters, I couldn't even tell you anything about it.
Fair enough.
Maybe that's just me being a dumb American.
I don't even know if it still exists, but I know it did at one point.
Yeah, I think they have like 4 or 5 different Masters
Yeah.
and Opens. There's millions of
I mean, in
of
theory,
Opens.
couldn't you do Masters in every country? By the way, the British Masters was ended after 2008.
Okay.
So
Wow.
Fair
I mean,
enough.
couldn't you do like the
Our
you know,
Masters was so good it put theirs in the ground.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Good work,
Armenian
guys.
Masters, the the Iranian Masters, the Zimbabwean Masters.
Yeah. Is there like a French Open of golf?
Probably not.
Maybe there is, but just
Well-
nobody wants to play in it because it doesn't really matter.
Actually, the funny thing is, like, if you're talking about the French Open, rewards a very specific style of play that is different than the other surfaces. So, which of the majors would you say rewards a different style of play than the others?
The one
It'd
we're in
actually
right
be-
now.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
would be
the
the
Open
links
Championship.
course, right?
Yeah.
It would be the Open.
By the way, fun to watch on TV, but like the idea of just like it being windy all the time, not cool to me.
Not for me.
Yeah.
I hate playing golf in the wind.
So
Well,
does it,
yeah.
So does it bother you guys then that like when you have events over here that try to like replicate links golf? Like you just had the PGA at the Ocean course. It's a links course. They're trying to do the same thing as they do in Britain, but with palmettos on the course.
But that's just the same, like that's how golf started. So like that's a style of golf course that's going to continue to be built.
I do think though, like the U.S. Open has its lane. You know, it's like the thick rough and like tight and all that kind of stuff. And so trying to pull in all the open stuff into it is not what I like.
What's the PGA's lane? Just like whatever then? It's like whatever we want to do on a given year.
Yeah, it's just like
I think
golf.
so.
Yeah.
Golf. All right, let's steer this back a little bit from going full golf podcast. We are going to still have a little golf slant here, but we're going to play a game called Either Or, guys. Either For.
Nice, Cal.
That was good.
So either for, you're going to get a couple options here, and I want you to pick one side. So let's go to the first one here. Spence, we'll start with you. You are either in this foursome, and you're playing, you ride in the cart with the last person, all right? So you're either with Pat Bolin and Brittany Bolin in a cart, and you share a cart with Johnny Bolin, or you're in a cart, or you're playing with Mike Shanahan and Gary Kubiak, but you're in a cart with Josh McDaniels.
Oh, this is tough because I feel like riding with the bottom person in either of those, I could just look at him and be like, what the are you thinking? Just in general. Football, life, whatever. I'd have to say, I think the bowling one would just be fun.
Yeah,
exactly. You never know what you're going to get for 4.5 hours straight.
Yeah,
so
that's the one I'm picking as well.
Me too.
It's easy. And the thing is, sorry, Hank, I didn't.
It's all good.
Go ahead and finish. Go ahead.
Okay, like my thing is like the Bolins. I Pat Bolin the best, but then also Mike Shanahan, Gary Kubiak, and then Brittany's kind of the ranking. I think I kind of like the coaches better, but what wins it over for me is that like if I have to spend 4 hours with one of those bottom two, I can at least appreciate Johnny Bolin for what he is, whereas Josh McDaniels, I'm just so frustrated with what he did to the Broncos that I don't think I can enjoy that in the way where I'm just like, yeah, Johnny, go off, let me listen for 4 hours and I'll move on.
See, you've got 3 coaches in one, and you've got 3 family members in another. Mm-hmm. And I think with the family members, if you're the foursome, you're just sitting there watching, and you are, even though there's 4 of you, you're the third wheel basically at that point. You are, they're talking about family experiences, vacations, all the things they've done together, and it's like,
but you're probably playing in like Hawaii.
It is probably Hawaii.
Why wouldn't it be Hawaii with the coaches?
The coaches, I don't know. It could be Hawaii.
I mean, it could be a beautiful course in California.
Cabo. I feel like Mike Shanahan likes Cabo.
Yeah. I mean, maybe because Mike Shanahan spends a lot of time in the Bay Area now, because his son is coaching the Niners. Maybe you're playing Spyglass Hill or something like that. Maybe, and so I'd take that. But the other thing is, because you don't have the family dynamic, because Josh McDaniels could kind of be the third wheel, I think you would actually end up talking with Josh McDaniels a lot.
I knew you were going to pick this one because, Josh McDaniels still an interesting brain to pick.
He is. Yeah. Like, I think Mike and Coobs would kind of be having their own conversation. I think what would happen is that Josh would probably latch on to you,
smart.
And next thing you know, like you say, you'd pick his brain, you'd learn a few things. Maybe you'd kind of dive into and figure out what went wrong, what he'd do differently. I mean, I think that would actually be the more illuminating experience.
It was the Alfonso Smith trade. That's what went wrong.
That's what went wrong.
That was it.
Well, there
also
were
the Jay Cutler stuff.
There were 2 trades made like that in that year's draft, and it was the year before an uncapped, unfloored year, and everybody and there was a lot of concern about budgets and all that. So that trade, saying, "Oh, we're going to trade a future 1 for a 2 this year," Denver did it, Carolina did it, and they kind of did it for the same reasons. There were some kind of long-term financial concerns involved with not knowing what the future CBA was going to look like.
Yep. I already said Pat Bolin's in my dream foursome, so that kind of swings it for me. Also, I'm probably shotgunning beers with Johnny in between holes. Yep. All right, let's go on to the next one.
Maybe Josh, too.
All right, you are with John Elway, Terrell Davis, and Eddie Kennison, noted traitor.
Quitterson.
Or you're with Peyton Manning, Von Miller, and Raheem Moore.
Another one where you're like, what the are you thinking? But no, I think I'd take the one with Von, Peyton, and Raheem, because I feel like, dude, I don't know. I feel like he semi has owned it, and these things happen to every fan base. It hurts. They still didn't score 2 times in overtime. Like there's so many things that could have went right. Like maybe I could ask Peyton what he was doing in overtime instead of asking Raheem. It kind of a joke, but That still hurts to this day. But I think it'd be fun to just kind of. I thought Raheem Moore was going to be great. It was him. Who was the other safety that came out in the same draft?
Quentin Carter.
Yeah.
And he got hurt on that damned Sports Dome field. They had to go. They didn't have the indoor facility at the time. They didn't have the field house, so they had to go practice on this field that's used by lacrosse, indoor soccer. The turf is worn down, and he shreds his knee in coverage one day that they get forced inside for a practice, and he's never the same after that. But Quentin Carter. That dude was a dog.
I thought that safety tandem
was going to be
good. Yeah, I thought that safety tandem was going to be in Denver for a long time.
Yeah. Yep.
I would go with that one as well. I would want Raheem to feel like forgiven. I feel like it's time to let that go. It's not something he did on purpose, and that's the number one thing tiebreaker for me here is like Eddie Kennison ditched the Broncos on purpose.
And TD was on that team. There's probably some tension between TD and Eddie Kennison being on that 0-1 team. The fan vitriol for Raheem Moore is something that does not exist with his teammates.
Right.
Vaughn and Peyton don't blame Raheem Moore for not having that ring on their finger. No. Because they're all like, what could I have done?
Right. You had a million chances to slow them down to never get to that point.
Yeah, the Raheem Moore anger... That's a fan thing. That's not a teammate and coach thing.
Yeah, and I don't have beef with Raheem Moore. Like Ryan said, he didn't try to do anything wrong. He made a mistake. Mistakes happen.
That actually resurfaced on Twitter yesterday with Raheem Moore.
Yeah,
Chris Harris said something, and then somebody, I forget who else commented, somebody from the team was like, I don't know why he's backpedaling or doing this or that. I didn't read it.
He made a mistake. Every player in the history of the game has made a mistake like that.
Very ill-timed mistake, but
yes,
it happens. So we're all on the same board.
Absolutely.
On the same page.
Worst mistake in Broncos history?
Probably, yes.
Wow. On-field mistake? I mean, if the Broncos didn't have 3 Super Bowls and didn't win 3 years later, Raheem Moore would be this franchise's Bill Buckner.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's fair.
Let me spin zone this real quick. How about you get in the Kennison foursome, and he turns into the third wheel, and then you just get to hang out with Elway and TD because they don't like him.
You get a 4th cart. You can ride in your own cart.
COVID cart rules.
Yeah, what? Just tell you have a medical condition, right? That's what people do at the course when they want their own carts.
Yeah. I could do a whole podcast on that.
Wait, seriously?
No, they still do it. Yeah. No mask in the pro shop, though. They don't wear a mask in the pro shop, but then they want their own cart.
Wow. Okay. Thanks. I might have to try that sometime. I didn't know you could do that. Although that being said, part of it, like if you're golfing on vacation and you're paired up with somebody you don't know, part of it is you might get paired with somebody really interesting.
Yeah.
Like at Kiowa Island once, I got paired with an 84-year-old guy who'd run a chain of laundromats, and we just basically told me his entire life story, and it was actually really fascinating.
Wow.
For 18 holes.
Not the direction I thought that was going to go.
No.
But still sounds very interesting.
Everyone's got a story, right?
Yeah. Andrew Mason, fascinated by laundromats.
My first thought was Navy SEAL.
No.
No.
Everyone's got an interesting story if you dig deep.
Mm-hmm. I've always thought of that. You could do a whole podcast just talking to anyone.
Yeah.
And it would be interesting.
If they're willing to open up. You get them get that person open up, then you never know where it's going to go.
This is a little bit different, but I had an investigative reporting professor who was really, really good and had done some cool things. And he said basically the same thing, except it was everybody has a secret and it's my job to figure it out. Ooh. Which is just a little bit darker. Mm-hmm. But it's what does this person not want me to know? And I'm going to start using that more.
That's good.
Yeah, peel the onion, Every layer you
there is something you do not want anybody to find out about you. What is that?
Yeah. I think everyone has that.
Yeah.
That's where we're going to stop there.
All right, let's go on to the next one here, Kale.
So these are situations that you have to choose between.
Yes, it's still either 4. So, either the Broncos don't make the playoffs for 10 more years, or you never make better than par on a hole again. So, one of these things is happening. Whatever one you don't pick is the other thing is happening.
Oh, ooh, I can't go 10 years without covering another playoff game. I'm sorry. the playoffs easy. That affects me more.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna agree. I'll take 18 straight pars. I'll be happy with that. You know, like
I knew you were gonna use that.
that. I mean, birdies are fun, but you know, then I just make bogey on the next hole, and it's like I made 2 pars. So
you're gonna be David Sims then.
Yeah, I cannot go without another 10 years. I can't even go another 3. Really, I'm getting worn down.
I think I'm gonna go the other way here. I think like if I knew it was coming, I could like the Nuggets are in good shape. The Avs are in good shape.
You could buy 10 years here.
I could exactly like, and I could. Then I have golf for what? I'm 24. Ideally, at least like 50 more years.
Yep.
I want to blow all of that based on that. The thing that does make me feel a bit guilty though is that the Broncos thing does impact a lot more people than just me, and so I would feel bad about that.
What's the state of this fan base if they miss the playoffs for another 10 years after already having missed it for 5? And what does the Broncos' reputation
Pure
become?
apathy.
Yeah.
If the fans have apathy, and then nationally,
That's 15 straight
they become
years.
I mean, the Bucks at the worst the Bucks did, they missed it for 14 years in a row. The Bengals missed for 14 years in a row. If you hit 50, and the Raiders missed it for, I think it was 13. Congratulations! If you do that, you have a 15-year run that is worse than the teams that were these generate embarrassments.
Yeah. I didn't
You
even
will
think
have
of that.
outdone. That's the thing, and that's what we'd be saying. Like, oh my God, they're worse than the Bengals at their worst. They're worse than Tampa Bay at its worst.
And more than that, like, can you even recover from that? It's like
Well-
they did eventually, like not the
Tampa
Bengals
Bay
so
did.
much, but
Bengals haven't really. Yeah, exactly.
it is true. You go through 10 years, that might just mean you're a bottom dweller going forward.
Tampa Bay got a new owner, and that's what the biggest thing in the recovery. More talent, but they also had somebody new steering the ship. And of course, what happened? The other thing is also if they have 10 years without the playoffs, most of those are going to be with a new owner, whether it's Brittany Bowen or somebody else, and it's just going to be damn toxic around here. People are going to be yelling, "Sell, sell, sell!"
Also,
it's going to be like the Washington with Dan Snyder.
Yeah. The other thing the Bucks did was sign Tom Brady, and I don't think that should be understated.
Well, that's the recent run because they missed 08 to 12 years. Think about that.
Before that was the
Tampa
big
Bay had 2 runs of a dozen years or more missing the playoffs. And this is why I am completely unapologetic for the Tampa Bay market and what they're enjoying right now. Because that town, sports-wise, when their teams have been bad, they have been bottom of the barrel, generationally incompetent. The Rays lost 90 games for 10 straight years. The Lightning had they had 3 owners, including the Japanese mafia, in their first 10 years. And just you could write a book on all the things that they did wrong.
30 for 30 on that.
Yeah, every franchise down there has been the saddest of sad sacks. So what that town is enjoying, that region is enjoying today, they've earned it. They've paid their dues.
Gosh, I don't want to do it to the people, but if I choose the other one, I feel like I would have to give up golf. Like,
yeah,
like the dream is to break even, you know, like you got to break par. Like that's why you like grind. That's why you play. I've done it once in my life, and that's all I'm ever chasing after that. It's like, can I do it again? Can I do it again? Now, maybe not, because I just love being out there with my friends, but it would just be such a terrible feeling knowing like that there's just a cap on how good you can ever be.
Yeah.
That being said, I can't do that to the city. But I have survived. Like I survived this with the Buffs. 15 years of incompetence.
So far.
Yeah. I mean, really, there's like a couple little blips in the middle there, but it's been like 20.
Yeah, it has.
20 years of like subpar play.
At best.
So I could definitely make it through the Broncos for my own personal benefit, but I don't think I can do it to the city. Let's go to the next one. Either you get Broncos season tickets for 5 years, and I'll even add in there on the 50, or you make 1 hole-in-one per year for the next 5 years.
There's a no full stop 1 hole-in-one for me ever for the next 5 years. If I just make 1 in the next 5 years, I'm gonna ride that until I'm dead. Mm-hmm. So I will take that. Broncos season tickets would be great. And especially on the 50-yard line. My season tickets are.
I was gonna say you already have season tickets.
They're not great. They're I'm there though. That's what I just like being there. And remembering until the third quarter, the last couple of years, kind of scenario. But hole in one hole in one for the next 5 years would be, I'd be ecstatic. I'd be on cloud 9.
It's a really tough one because like my dad, he's like a 2 handicap. He's old and he's never had a hole in one before.
And he plays the same course like every day.
Yeah, you'd think you'd figure it out. But like, yeah, it's or no, he actually just had his first like a couple months ago. I forgot about that.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. But knowing that could be on the way is terrifying, but at the same time, like,
was his first at Meadow Lake?
Yeah, but like, I don't know. It's more about like the round, right? Like I know, not that a hole in one wouldn't be fulfilling, but I wonder if just like having 5 of them, the 5th one, does that feel as good as number 3?
Definitely not. But then you have this reputation amongst your buddies that like
you're the
hole in one guy.
The thing is, I'm also like shooting in the
Ace
90s, and it's like,
Yeah.
guess what? You got to 87 because you had a hole in one. It's like, it's not like my reputation is as a good golfer.
I mean, if I put a 1 on the card, I'm shooting in the 70s for sure.
Yeah, I'm not still.
I'm never going to be good enough to shoot par on a regular basis. But there's a better chance of me having like a random hole in one. Like I mean,
everyone's got
I've never had one. I mean, I hold out from 130 yards on the fairway at the University of South Florida golf course back when I was going to school. But I know it because of that shot. I know at some point randomly I might have that in me.
Yep. I mean, Allie almost got one in her second round ever.
Yeah. And so doing one of those every year for the next 5 years, especially considering I only play, say, 10, 12 rounds a year, that would give you a reputation.
Right.
I would and I would own it if I had one hole in one. If I was averaging one hole in one literally every 10 or 12 rounds for the next 5 years, again, I would lean into that. That would be my thing. You play around with me, you might see an ace. There's about a 1 in 12 chance you will.
If everyone starts calling you Ace,
ooh, they would too.
Ace Mase.
Ace Mase.
See?
Yeah, you can't turn that. Plus, you have to cover the games anyway.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, exactly. So I don't need season tickets.
Yeah.
I guess we're all on the same page there.
I'm taking the tickets.
Oh, you're taking the tickets.
I'm taking the tickets.
All right. Fair enough.
Okay.
All right.
I'm taking the tickets.
Let's go to the next one, Kale.
Alright, this is, you gotta premise this, or this is match life on the line.
Oh, right. So your life is on the line, and you have to pick one of these people to be your partner in a golf match against 2 good golfers.
Ooh.
Who are you picking?
Oh,
Peyton Manning or John Elway?
I'm taking Peyton. I think his clutch golf gene we all saw during the first match last year when Tiger was hitting it good, but like Peyton hit some really good shots, and like I don't think people realize how tough that is to do, especially when you're literally at that point in time during the middle of quarantine, the only thing that's everybody's watching. I think that if I remember correctly, that first match blew every rating of every Masters out of the water, all that kind of stuff because of how watched it was. And these guys, whether you can go grind, like Peyton Manning, I heard from a guy at Cherry Hills that he was hitting golf balls in the rain for 2 weeks straight at Cherry by himself, only guy on the range at Cherry Hills before that match, like getting ready for that.
Getting dialed.
And like football is what he does, but that's one of the greatest things about golf is pretty much anybody can play it. You just have to try. But even the greatest athletes in the world, the smartest people in the world, this or that they can look so weird and so uncomfortable. So and the nervousness, like we see it from in most sports. Like if you go to pre-games of sports, you watch Jamal Murray shoot threes. He never misses. Marcus Howard never misses. Second they get in a game, if you didn't watch that pregame, you'd be like, oh, he's just not that great of a shooter. We know from paying attention, but that's how golf is too. You go on the range, even a pro from the Korn Ferry Tour that I went to last week, they don't miss a shot on the range, not a single one. And then they get out on a golf course and they're missing shots. So these guys that aren't even pros and just play golf, they grind and they want to be good because they're competitive humans. It's an insane amount of nerves. So I'd take Peyton just because I feel like John would be more lackadaisical about it. I think Peyton would clutch up.
So I'm going John. because I just think he has a lot more rounds under his belt. Like Peyton only got into this like retirement life, golf life a few years ago, whereas John's been doing this for a while. And again, I do not think his GM job precluded his golf life at all. And he's actually like, I think he's better than Peyton at golf.
Yeah, I think John's actually really good at golf too.
Like I think he like shoots under par regularly. So I'm taking John, but I have to say, I'm like super worried about like if I start screwing up. Like if I start playing bad, I feel like John's like rolling his eyes behind me. You know?
Oh yeah, Henry's over here. I just like peeked at his phone. He's looking up John Elway's handicap on the gym game.
Well, I mean, we know Elway.
Does it work?
Elway's gotten to the qualifying final round of the Senior Open,
right?
And Peyton hasn't yet done that. So I would say, because based on that alone, I would go with Elway. But in 5 years, when Peyton is eligible for the Senior Open, who's to say that he's not getting that far in qualifying?
Don't you think that Peyton though is like would be a little more uplifting for you as you were playing? Like I feel like
I was thinking the opposite.
If we're talking,
I was thinking the opposite.
Well, perhaps, but I mean, we're talking about life on the line here. If we were just talking about a regular round of golf, I would rather play with Peyton because if worst came to worst, we could exchange quotes from the National Lampoon movies for 4 hours.
I just feel like Peyton is the one that's like has my back a little more. Like he's like saying like, you got this. Like just step up there and hit one. You know, like
that doesn't feel like
that
meat. To me, like
cut that meat.
I feel like you're up there and he's saying like, oh, pull the putt. Like you even want to live? Like come on. Like, that's more Peyton's
he's
vibe
like making
to me.
jokes.
Exactly. It's like, dude, I'm about to die here. You got to stop with all this. That's what I don't need when I'm golfing. Also, John Elway 1.1 handicap, Peyton 4.4.
Yeah. John is nasty on the golf course.
Yeah, I'm taking Elway.
And he got that hand thing figured out too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
That's good news.
Turned out I was wrong.
Plus, if I die, we can use that.
Yeah, isn't that a gift somewhere?
Yes.
Turns out I was wrong.
Yes. If I die, you just there's the big joke. That's like the biggest joke on Twitter for a day.
As Henry gets executed on the 18th green.
Exactly. Turns out I was wrong.
You know, if Zach were sitting here, he'd be arguing for Trevor Simeon at some point in this conversation.
Plummer is also a good golfer, I've heard. If you're a quarterback, you're basically a good golfer.
I was going to say if you're a punter or kicker, you're a good golfer.
Well,
too.
that too, for
Most
sure.
of them
Elam?
can nail it. Jason Elam was a very good golfer.
Yeah. There's like a little connection.
Well, the other thing is also during practices, and this is more so true 15, 20 years ago than now, when the specialists would kind of be on their own, they kind of screw around sometimes. I mean, they would start playing kind of, close. They'd start trying to hit golf balls into garbage bins and so forth during practice. You'd have Elam and whoever the punter was, and for a long time the long snapper was Mike Leach, and I didn't know he was a pretty good golfer as well. And they would just do games like that from time to time. And then they go play Golden Tee when they didn't want to do that.
Golden Tee down here in the bar, big hit. Some people come here just to play Golden Tee for like 4 hours. If I was an NFL coach or just like even a college coach, I would have the specialists come in like 6 a.m. every day, get your work in, and then go away. Like, can you imagine you're out there in like 90-degree heat at a training camp practice, smashing heads, and you see Jason Elam over there hitting golf balls? I would lose my mind.
Yeah,
that's true.
So get them out of the way because all they do is just like.
Well, nowadays it's a little more regimented. You get everyone has 2 special teams coaches now, and they're working with them in the periods when it's team and individual.
But they're not really.
And they also, it's also interesting how they place the special teams periods within practice. They're spaced to a point where the specialists can't get too lost in their own thing because it's gonna be time to come back over and kick, time to come back over and punt.
I watch those guys just play catch for hours on end.
Yeah, it's funny to see them over on the north side of the training facility. They just doing their
throwing the ball around.
Yeah.
Back in the 2-a-day camp days, every other day, the second of the 2 days was special teams only.
Huh.
And imagine, like, you come out to watch practice and then special teams, and so, like, the fans would feel kind of ripped off if they didn't realize it. So we got to a point where they'd say, yeah, specifically this second practice is special teams, and then
Don't come.
Yeah, well, you'd still have people coming, but it'd be like about 3 dozen or so.
They're just coming for like autographs afterwards,
or they're literally coming because you see people that are dressed for work, like, I don't want to be at work. I'm just going to come hang out here. Like I used to say, they were hiding from their bosses.
Yeah.
Like coming out to Broncos special teams practice.
All right, I think we got one more. Is that right, Kale? Yep. All right, last one here. Another one. You got a match with your life on the line. You got to pick one of these two guys to be your partner.
Oh, boy.
So I'm going to pick Reisner because I've seen that he does that, like, I don't know what they call it. I'm just going to call it like the farm open or something up at his farm.
Yeah.
They like mow down some of the cornfields and like make a little golf course out of it. So I know that he at least has experience swinging a golf club. I don't know that I've ever seen Garrett Bowles swing a golf club. Although he was a great lacrosse player, maybe that translates a little bit.
I don't think so.
I think
as
like
a lacrosse
similar,
player,
like, turning, like you're getting those core muscles from like turning.
Yeah, there's a lot more to golf than turning.
No, but I mean,
yeah.
It's not like a basketball player who's like never done any of those motions, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm taking Reisner as well.
I'm taking Reisner.
Garrett Bowles just doesn't seem like big golf guy.
No, he doesn't.
Reisner seems like he could get up, wear a sick rope hat, maybe backwards, get some cargo, some nice shorts on, a untucked polo, and go out there and have a good time.
Yep.
I'm going Reisner.
Put it this way, when you look up Dalton Reisner in golf, you at least get stuff about his farm tournament. There's a picture of him getting out of a golf cart. You Google Garrett Bowles in golf, bupkis.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of being out on the golf course, speaking of the weekend, speaking of good vibes, make sure you add some Breckenridge Brewery seltzers or beers to your weekend slate this week. Last night, so everyone knows about the RK special, Strawberry Sky, Hot Peak IPA. I'm trying to create a RK special 2.0 right now with the seltzers, and I'm trying to figure out which two mix the best together. I've only started just last night. I mixed the blueberry lemonade and the raspberry lemonade. Off to a good start. Spence, you had a sip?
It was good. I did enjoy it.
Off to a good start, but haven't declared a winner yet. So we'll see how that goes. But no matter what you're doing this weekend, work in some Good Company lemonades, some Good Company regular hard seltzers, or any of their fantastic, delicious beers.
Yeah, so what are the flavors we get? We have the lemonades, of course. We also have like apple pear, black cherry, peach, mountain berry, and honeydew.
I think the lemonades...
I think peach and mountain berry might have some potential, though.
Peach, berry, peach. Okay.
I've done some...
Apple pear's already a mix, so if you mix another one, now you've got 3.
It's a little much, but I'm thinking of like the berries and the peaches because I've done smoothies with peach and berry that have been really good.
You should call it the smoothie.
So maybe that translates to seltzer as well.
Fair enough.
All right, that's the one I would try. You try your own with the Good Company hard seltzers. Also, if you're not a member of DNVR, why don't you try it out and join us for the most in-depth coverage of your professional Denver teams, as well, of course, as the CU Buffs. I guess with NIL, they're kind of pro net right now, right?
I mean, it's a weird place. It's a weird place.
Also, golf.
The NCAA says they're amateurs, can also not define amateurs, so... Where does that leave us?
You saw what Mark Emmert said yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just basically...
They know what's on the way.
They know what's coming.
Yep.
Anyway, you should be a DNVR member. We mentioned golf, for example. If you join the DNVR Golf League, you can sign up week after week if you missed that initial sign up. So follow DNVR Golf, get all those updates. You can log on our Discord, chat about Denver sports without the crap you deal with on social media. If you come on down to the DNVR bar and you're a member, you're going to get extra raffle tickets at watch parties to win free gear. And, of course, you're going to get that free DNVR Locker shirt with your annual membership. You're going to get discounts, including at the DNVR Locker. You might find that becoming a member pays for itself in T-shirts alone. The free shirt plus the discounts you get on others. And, of course, here at the DNVR bar, you get the big beer for a price of a small beer. Will they do a big RK special for the price of a small one?
They even have a button on the cash register because it gets ordered so much. So, yeah, they will do you a 22-ounce.
And the button,
11 ounces of Strawberry Sky, 11 ounces of Hot Peas.
Is the little RK on the button wearing away because people have been touching the button so much?
I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that Darren, our bartender, like at least once a week, he's like, dude, it is unbelievable how many of these stupid RK specials I have to make back here.
I got into bartending to mix alcohol, not mix beers.
Yeah.
And now he's mixing beers.
So all that, and of course the chance to jump on with us on a podcast. You can comment on the podcast. You can jump on the Three Ring Circus or live shows from time to time. So all of those benefits and more are yours if you become a DNVR member today.
Also, we're talking about golfing, being out on the golf course, all that good stuff. I do not enter the golf course ever anymore without some Manscaped crop preserver.
I knew where that was going because I'm right there with you.
It's literally as important as your driver, your putter, golf balls. Like, it is absolutely essential to a round of golf. You got to have Manscaped crop preserver. You got to have it. And you might as well get the lawnmower out there. You know, you're going to be on mowed lawns. You might as well come with a mowed lawn. All of that good stuff at Manscaped. And you can get 20% off plus free shipping when you use the code DNVR. So get in on it. I mean, obviously the lawnmower 4.0 is their main product, but all of the other stuff is really what I think brings Manscaped above all the rest. So use that code DNVR to get 20% off plus free shipping. All right, let's move into the next segment here, and let's actually go to the draft.
Okay.
We are going to do a draft of the best comedy movies of all time. All movies on the table. I don't think there's going to need to be any debate over like whether something's a comedy or not. If we're debating that, it's probably not a good pick. So let's jump right in. And Spence, you are the guest. We're going to give you the number 1 overall pick, unless you decline the number 1 overall pick.
So does it, if I decline
it's a snake draft.
I'll be honest, guys, I can't move the heads anymore.
All right, you're
no,
taking
that's
number
fine.
1 overall.
That's fine.
So you're going first.
With the first overall pick, this may be lost on some people. Maybe older generation and a lot younger generation, but I'm hoping Twitter comes through, and a lot of the kids, adults, semi-adults, what I call myself, have seen it. The funniest movie of all time is Superbad.
Oh, such a great
by
pick.
far the funniest
Such
movie
a
of all
great
time.
pick.
I can't watch it anymore, actually, because I can quote word for word the entire thing. So I can't even watch it anymore. It's the only movie that I've watched more than twice, and it's one of 3 movies I've watched more than once, I think.
Wait, really?
Wow.
I was talking about this with somebody the other day. Who was it? I think it was somebody in one of my golf foursomes. I do not waste my time watching something I've already seen. That's like 2 hours of literally wasted.
So
me,
I always think about the
personally.
opposite way. Like, I'm scared to watch a movie I haven't seen because I'm like, what if this is bad? And I
Do
waste
you order
2
the
hours.
same
I
thing
know
at
I like
restaurants you like every single
this.
time?
Every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time. Like, I'm not going to mess around and
You're like, I'm
do
not
something
ordering
I don't
a
like for
quesadilla
2
at
hours.
Chipotle. The
I watched
burrito's
this-
amazing.
Yeah, I watched this movie called Gaia a couple weeks ago. It's terrible. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
You can't go broke taking a profit, right? And if you're watching a movie that you know you enjoy, you know you're going to have a good 2 hours.
Yeah.
The other thing that happens is I like to have stuff on in the background as I work, but I want it to be either a game, because like any sport, you can kind of look up, get a gist of what's going on, and then kind of go back to what you're doing. Or a familiar movie or TV show, because I don't want to have to think about it. Like if I start watching a new show, I want to know what's going on. I have to invest an hour or 2 hours in watching
Yes.
that. Whereas, like, the reason I've seen so much Seinfeld is, you know, sometimes back in the day, I'd pop a DVD of Seinfeld in while I was working, and it was just was on in the background. Or I'd fall asleep to it because I like to fall asleep to a show or a movie.
Yeah, that's what I fall asleep to, like, shows I've already seen because I don't want like some plot point to like prop me up in bed. You
So
know?
with headphones on?
No, just on the TV.
Oh, okay. Like I actually put headphones on when I fall asleep and just listen to something familiar.
Interesting. You sleep with headphones in?
Usually they come out at some point when I'm sleeping. It's a lot easier now with Bluetooth, but I don't want to disturb anybody else, so I just put headphones on and listen to, you know, sometimes it's an old movie, sometimes it's an old game. Like I listened a few nights ago to a Broncos-Browns game from 1983 as I fell asleep.
So on brand.
Awesome.
So on brand.
I did.
The reason was Marv Albert. He just retired. He was in the news. Marv called that game, and it was just kind of a nice background noise as I fell asleep. Elway that was one of his first big games was that day, by the way.
I like rewatching movies if I'm showing it to someone. So like Allie hasn't seen like a lot of my favorite movies, so I'm like, oh, you gotta see this. You gotta see Happy Gilmore or whatever it is. Like, you gotta see Almost Famous. So like I like doing that. I wouldn't just like put on a movie that I've seen before if I'm just watching it by myself.
That's fair. Yeah, I rewatch a lot of sporting events. Like I rewatched the 2015 AFC Championship last night. It was on NFL Network. I was like, oh, absolutely, I'm rewatching this.
I like to rewatch sporting events that I was at.
Yes.
So if I was there, I'm like, oh, I wonder what the TV broadcast was.
I record every game that I go to.
Yeah.
Nuggets and Avs especially.
Ooh.
All right.
For me, it's the Buffs that I record and then watch again. All right.
Mase with the number 2 overall pick.
You know, there's a strategy here because, like as I saw last week, there wasn't a lot of love for really old school stuff. So maybe I go with a pick here that's a little more, that's from the last, say, 20 years or so. And I was glad I was at home when I watched it because I literally did piss myself at a couple points in this movie. The first Borat movie.
Wow.
That's on my list. That's
That is crazy. I did not expect that.
Multiple times though.
Yes.
You could have given me 100 guesses.
I had to pause I had to pause it after the naked wrestling and then them running through the conference.
Don't think about it too much, or we're gonna have to take a break.
If you see, I'm not gonna describe it. I'm just gonna. If you see it, you know what I'm talking about.
It makes me so happy that Mase was laughing at that.
I actually just watched Borat 2 with my mom when I was
Yes.
back in Montana. She loved it.
No,
I was
Why
not
would you
sure
watch
which
that
way
with
to
your
go.
mom.
Oh, you'd be surprised. Like my 70-some-year-old dad loved the Borat movies.
Sometimes those are like 50-50.
But he also loves
like
his favorite musical. I think is Book of Mormon. So he's kind of got
yeah.
He's got a very
Edgy
sensibility, more edgier than you would expect for someone his age.
All right, Hank.
Yeah.
All right.
He came with a list.
Oh yeah, I can't remember things, and so I need to write them down. This is a tough one because again, it's like how you play the board. What is everybody else going to take?
I should have brought this earlier. There's a great super bad story involving the Broncos. Real quick.
Really?
Coming back from a game in San Diego, they lost on Christmas Eve in 2007. Superbad was the in-flight movie. And you had an airplane of players and staff that were all trying to stifle laughter because, God forbid, Mike Shanahan would have heard people laughing after they lost by 3 scores in San Diego. But you look around, and there are all these contorted faces on the plane of people trying not to laugh at Superbad.
That's incredible.
That is.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Just had to bring
Remember
that.
when I don't know who it was. I kind of assume it was Kisla. Wrote a column about how they were laughing in the locker room after they got. I think it was when they got shut out in San Diego.
Yeah.
Might have been that. And then the next day we got in there and the players were like, "Yo, who snitched?"
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah. Guys are human.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anyway.
Funny things are funny.
Yeah.
Third pick, I'm going Caddyshack.
Oh my God! You just take it right out from under me.
Oh, good. I was hoping
One word, Cat.
that's the reaction I want.
Oh man!
That's
At least you didn't
reaction I
pick
want.
Caddyshack 2.
I would never.
Who here has seen Caddyshack 2?
I actually don't think
haven't.
I have.
Don't.
I haven't either.
This will just sum it up. They were trying to get the movie casted, and of course we know Rodney Dangerfield was not in Caddyshack 2. But here's the story behind it. Someone gives him the script because they're trying to get him in there, and he thumbs through it, and he says, "What's up with the Ferris wheel?" And he tosses it in the garbage can.
Okay.
And then they had to cast Jackie Mason instead, and that was just terrible.
Gosh dang it! Now I really didn't think there was any chance that you were taking Caddyshack.
That makes me really happy. Because that probably wouldn't even be like the favorite of the movies I'm going to take. But I just know if you want that one, and I do want that one,
you're going to get some old school people that side with you because you just made a early 80s movie your pick.
I know, and I was thinking of doing that too. I was like, I'm going to try and get the older crowd here first, and then work my way back. But I don't know how this is going to play. I don't even know. Like, I don't know if you guys are going to like it. I don't know if fans are going to like it. But I think it's actually, like, my favorite comedy movie from that era in which Superbad also exists, and it's Step Brothers.
Oh, I thought that was going to somehow slip to me in the second round, but because that is those two movies together, like that was like one,
I think it was the same summer, maybe.
Yeah, it was one or the other that I was watching all of those.
Wow, that was not on my list, but it definitely shouldn't have or should have been.
It has that same thing with Superbad where it's like very quotable.
Yeah,
like it's always funny.
Yeah.
You could still like drop a reference to that. There's like probably 20 different things that you could say from that.
Yeah, so much room for activities like that. I still say that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like it's something that just comes up in daily conversation.
Every time I see an Enterprise Rent-A-Car, I think of that line when he's like, just going to do the sensible thing, get a job at Enterprise Rent-A-Car. They have a great corporate structure, and they give you the tools to be your own boss.
You wrecked my boat, you goons.
That was a good movie.
All right. Now I think I'm going to go back to an old... yeah, I think I will. I might lose my next pick, but I this is like one that holds up. From 1993, still very solid. I'm going Dazed and Confused. McConaughey at his best, I would say.
I haven't seen it.
I get older, the girls stay the same age.
Yeah, that's what I love about high school. Oh, that's not good news for me.
That is not good news.
Oh, good choice.
Honestly, though, like, Adam's one of those people where if he thinks something you did was, like, cool, then it kind of makes you feel a little better because he thinks weird things are cool.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, yeah, I'm different.
Yeah, I'm quirky. This is another tough one. And this could be a pick I look back on and say, no reason to take that there. I'm going Airplane.
Oh, damn it.
Yes, that is exactly what I wanted. That is exactly what I wanted. I knew it was going to be Mase. Yes.
Did you make your whole list based off of what you thought, like sophisticated people would pick?
No, they're funny movies. I really like those two movies.
Which one is
You couldn't make it today. Like, there are so many jokes in there that would not pass muster in 2021.
Like the one you just made from Dazed and Confused?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Pretty much.
It is so
yes.
Which one is what is Airplane?
It's the one where they're on an airplane.
I think I know which one it is.
Yeah, it's like Leslie Nielsen, and I think like the best Leslie Nielsen. It's like it's all just like the dumb jokes about like wordplay and like Roger, like what's your
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has a cameo.
Like, the kid,
like
I think I know which one we're talking about here.
The kid says,
I think
like,
you're the greatest, but my dad says you don't hustle back down the court on defense, and that you don't even try until the playoffs. The hell I don't!
But the whole time before that, he's pretending he's not actually Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah,
the blow-up pilot that.
Oh, the inflatable. Yes, get the autopilot. It's like an inflatable.
It's just really good jokes.
Yeah, it's. I mean, just it's Is that the one like you could get in the smoking section back in the day? Okay, your ticket: smoking or non-smoking? Smoking, and the ticket is literally smoking.
I want to rehash every single movie. All right, what do you got here for us, Mase?
Gosh, oh man, ugh, man, I have to rethink my draft strategy now, but that's okay.
Also, there's an exclamation point, Kale. After Airplane. I don't want Twitter to get mad at him.
I will fix it after Mase.
Okay. The same kind of generation. This was a couple of years earlier than Airplane. Infinitely quotable. And also, you couldn't make it today. Animal House.
Yep.
That's a good one.
That was...
yeah.
The list that I was looking at had that at number one. But, yeah, definitely...
But we're not talking. I mean, that doesn't mean it's not a classic.
No, absolutely. As D-Line would say, separate the art from the artist,
Right.
which kind of applies here. All right, Spence, you got back-to-back picks here.
Back-to-back picks. All right, I'm gonna start. Like, I'm just doing them on. I might start pandering a little down.
Pander
later,
away. That's the
but
name of this game.
For this, I'm gonna go with one of my favorites, Wedding Crashers.
Ooh.
That I'm sticking in the same generation. I'm just hoping that the between 19 to 20 to 35 year olds really hammer this vote.
I legitimately think though that the early 2000s, is that when all these were coming out,
Yeah.
is the golden era of comedy movies.
Mhm.
All of they were just there was 3 a summer.
It's-
Week, and it did not go well. Just saying.
Did they do?
It's-
They did comedy movies.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
wow.
I don't want to just keep stealing their
I
idea.
didn't see that. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry.
This was
Well,
Mace's
blame me.
idea.
Well, I got the idea based off TV shows last week, but people said, why didn't you separate comedies from dramas? And I said, okay, fine. And that's why I'm like, okay, let's just choose movie comedies. And damn it.
That makes. I really
Now I
thought we
feel
were.
bad.
I thought we
It
were.
wasn't comedy movies. It was comedic actors.
Okay,
Oh.
okay. So we're good. All right, we're good.
How dare you accuse us of stealing?
But there were 2 golden ages of comedies,
kidding.
though. One golden age was from about 78 to 88 or so.
Mm-hmm.
And the other golden age was basically the early to mid 2000s.
Yeah.
So they're basically about every 20 years, which every 20 years a new golden age starts. So
Got to be coming up on one.
we should be starting one. Usually, crisis creates great art.
I haven't seen
The
it.
pandemic,
That's
hopefully, will have some great art coming out in spring.
What's the last good new comedy you saw?
Oh,
Right?
one that
Game Night came out 2 years ago, and that movie's amazing.
I just watched Get Hard. That's a good movie.
What is that one again?
That's Will Ferrell gets wrongly accused of
Is that
fraud,
Kevin Hart?
and then
in it?
Kevin Hart teaches him how to be good in prison because Will Ferrell assumes he's been to prison when he hasn't.
See, I've lost it the last few years because I have a little
It's a
kid,
good
and
movie.
so in the movie watch, I could tell you all about Frozen and Disney movies and all that, but my movie watching time has been so scrunched because it's been chewed up by stuff like that I've got some catch up work to do coming up here in the next few years.
All right, Spence.
40-year-old virgin.
Oh,
Okay.
he's
Good one.
staying in the hot zone.
Yeah,
there.
this is my zone. This is what I know. I honestly, this may sound crazy to you guys. Never seen Airplane, never seen Animal House, never seen Dazed and Confused.
You gotta watch all
Wow.
those movies.
Yeah,
I'm down to rewatch all of those movies. I actually haven't seen Dazed and Confused either.
you should see it.
All
it's
right.
a quick watch too. I think it's only 90 minutes.
Huh.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. That's the way movies should be.
This is Spinal Tap.
Wow.
That's a good one. I feel like I'm
Such-
just competing with Mase.
Such a
Yeah,
thin line between stupid and clever, right?
I love this. Is Spinal
Yeah.
Tap. I had a long hair phase, and
Yeah.
I was really into that movie during that time.
It's my current phase, actually.
Yes.
And also just kind of infinitely quotable as
Mhm.
well.
Goes to 11.
Yeah.
It's so good.
What-
You can use it in any situation.
All right, what do you got?
Oh yeah. Oh
picking up the
wow. I
pace
should have
here.
been
Yeah.
prepared. And see, this is where I have to decide. We're going National Lampoon's Vacation.
Ooh.
That's
Just
a good one.
The original?
Yeah,
I don't know if I've seen that one.
it's really really good.
I like Vegas Vacation a lot,
And
and Christmas Vacation.
Vegas Vacation is the least of the vacations.
Really? I don't know why. I just really like Vegas. So
It's also the most recent. I don't count the direct-to-video Cousin Eddie vacation
Spin-off.
movie. We're not. Yeah, that doesn't go there. It's only the four. Although Vegas Vacation didn't have the National Lampoon branding on it.
oh.
Interestingly enough,
I don't know why.
I didn't know that.
I just hit right at the age I was
Yeah.
when I watched it.
but it was it's got its moments. But the original is still, and I'd love to quote it, but we're pressed for time. A and B, all the quotes involve some kind of profanity.
Mm. All right. I'm going back to back here. Give me Best in Show.
that's a really good one.
Spence hasn't seen it. I can just tell by
I
his
can
reaction.
guarantee.
Absolutely.
And I know he's seen this one, so I'm trying to play to both crowds here. Anchorman.
Oh,
That was the other one I was trying to decide.
That's another.
And in hindsight, why would I should have taken Anchorman. Mase is the one I was terrified with. Vacation.
It wraps around back to you before me.
This is me being a bad drafter. If I had Anchorman, So now I gotta rethink some things. Wow. I'm gonna.
You've got like 25 on your list over there. I saw it.
Yeah. There's just like a select few, because now I need newer things to appeal to people
Younger crowd.
my age.
Spence and I already got them all.
Except for Anchorman, but I guess now you do have
plenty,
that.
dude. I could rattle off like 10 more. You need some help?
I'm gonna go with The Hangover.
Damn it!
Damn it! I was actually just thinking about that and surprised at me.
I know. I was hoping you'd go older school than that.
Damn, The Hangover's really good.
So this is 2 rounds that you've taken. Every time you've picked before me, Hank, you've taken my pick.
That makes me so happy.
So, all right. Now again, I got to rethink my strategy here a little bit.
It's tough. This is a competitive draft.
I usually can know by this time in the draft who's going to win. And
okay, I'm just going to go with the next on my board that I was going to pick if you took The Hangover, Dumb and Dumber.
I almost took it right there.
Thought the Rocky Mountains would be a lot rockier than this. I was thinking the same thing. That John Denver's full up, man. and also, I mean, just extra points for all the Colorado references.
Oh yeah,
that'll play well here.
Yes.
All right, back to back. I'm going to go American Pie.
Nice.
That is one of my all-time favorites.
It's funny seeing this and like knowing your sense of humor and just how well these things line up.
Oh yeah, exactly. And my last one. I think I wouldn't be the DNVR Golf guy if I didn't go with Happy Gilmore.
Nice.
Since it's still on the board.
Yep.
Caddyshack was going to be my round 2 pick. She's gone, so Happy Gilmore it is.
Happy Gilmore is. A lot of those Adam Sandler movies aren't still funny.
Right.
That one definitely is.
Oh yeah.
Which is better, Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore?
Oh,
I think it's Happy Gilmore.
I do too, but
I mean,
Billy
I just
Madison's
love
the other.
Golf, the golf aspect of Happy Gilmore. I think puts it over, but I think Billy Madison made me laugh harder on the first watch.
I think Happy holds up a little better, and I think that the absurdist humor in it that gets dropped into Happy Gilmore. You know, like the little person riding the horse in Happy's dream. When at the end of the film he looks up and sees Chubbs and the alligator, and then what is Abraham Lincoln doing there? Waving. Hey, Happy.
That's a good movie.
Okay.
I've heard you reference that part of Happy Gilmore multiple times. That's definitely your favorite part of the movie.
I just like how there are things there in there. They're like, what? This makes no sense. But that's just, or like the guy on the Zamboni. Okay, the Zamboni driver in the dark, mouthing the lyrics to "Endless Love" and then looking down sadly. There is some deep heartbreak in that guy's life. You could do a movie on the Zamboni driver.
You could.
In Happy Gilmore. Why does he feel that way when Endless Love plays and he's mouthing it, but it's just belting it out. And I'll give my love to you. My love, my love, my love, my endless love.
Oh my god, that's amazing. And your pick.
Oh, yeah, I have to make a pick here, right? Naked Gun. Or The Naked Gun. Yeah.
What year is that?
1988.
I was going to say that's outside of my range.
Yes.
If I didn't get Airplane, I was going to get that.
Interesting.
Yep.
Who knew Henry had a deeply diverse movie taste?
Only
Yeah.
Mace and Henry having the same movie taste for this.
This was the surprise.
Upset of the year.
Yeah.
Upset of the year.
I don't know movies that aren't funny.
I mean,
Yeah.
I just know the funny ones.
This has to be like your dad showing
Yeah.
you these.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. Where else do you see movies that old?
I don't know.
So it's 2 different ways I could go. Okay. I have to get a Will Ferrell movie. Like you just can't go through this. And Anchorman was gonna knock out like an era and Will Ferrell, but which one? We're going Elf.
Oh,
Ooh.
you lost me.
You think so?
Yeah.
Elf is a good one. Elf is a classic. There's a
lot of
lot in
people
there
agree
that's
with
really
you.
funny.
A lot of people
There's a
agree with
lot
you.
in there
I'm
that's
just
really
not one.
good. I was thinking like
It's my
Talladega
least
Nights,
favorite Will Ferrell, like by
Really?
a long shot.
Zoe Deschanel.
It doesn't do it for me.
Really?
I don't
crosses
think I like
generations,
Christmas
though.
movies. Am I a Grinch?
I
I don't
think
like
you-
Christmas music or movies.
The only Christmas movie I like, National Lampoon's, but Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
And then The Grinch, and that's it. I'm not a big, like, you know,
For some reason, I like Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh my.
Never even heard of that one.
Yeah.
It's not going to be my pick here.
Elf appeals across the generations.
It does.
Though.
It does.
Yep.
And like, although I found it interesting, like my daughter loves Elf, and she's 9 years old now, and we actually like she had some friends over and they watched Elf, and then found out like that her friends weren't allowed to watch Elf at home, but their parents had banned it. And I'm like, what?
Elf?
Yeah.
Too edgy.
Again, like, well, there's some layers that I peel back that are interesting when I find out what those parents have prevented those kids from seeing, and I'm just like, yeah, we pretty much watch just about anything at our house.
Yeah.
You know,
I think
we don't have.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying we don't have rules, but yeah, I mean, I've introduced Charlotte to a lot of stuff that maybe she shouldn't have been introduced to at the age of 9, but that's okay.
I mean, like, I had an older sister, so I was learning all that stuff
Like
too.
one movie
too.
that would have been my next round pick would have been Ghostbusters, the original, and that's one of my daughter's favorite movies.
Well, last pick here, and you named it in the same way that you felt like you need a Will Ferrell, I need an Adam Sandler, and I'm going Billy Madison.
Oh, Doyle rules.
Wow.
Spence,
These
have
are
you seen
solid.
Billy Madison?
I have, but I don't remember it that well.
Okay.
So I know I have.
Didn't
seen
resonate.
It is there.
This is good. I don't know who's gonna win.
We need to watch a bunch of movies. That's what I learned.
Everyone
I had
between
to
the ages
watch
of 20
all of
and
these
30 vote.
In a row, and I wasn't gonna pick mine, I would probably pick Spence's.
There's not a movie on this list I don't like.
That's the thing. I like.
Elf's
Yeah.
the only one that doesn't do it for me.
Wow.
I'm not a huge Dumb and Dumber guy.
But I
Really?
fully understand that I'm in the deep minority there. Like,
Yeah.
every time I say that, everyone gives
Is
me a
that
weird
true?
look.
I don't talk about Elf often, so
Yeah, every
I talk about
Christmas
Elf
it
1
comes
month
up.
a year, though. Like the thing is, you don't talk about the rest of the year, but like this, like if you have a Christmas song, like Mariah Carey, for
Yep.
all that she's done, 1 month a year she has the most popular song. Period. Is that
song actually slaps.
Yeah, but the thing is that better than just having a bunch of great songs? And now, I mean, she has other big hits, obviously, but the first line on her obituary someday is going to be "All I Want for Christmas Is You."
Yep. And that's what she's probably made most of her money on.
Right.
I mean, that's definitely the way to do it. Because for a month every year, she has the #1 song on the charts.
Yes,
Every
every year.
year.
Now that
And no one else can replicate that.
It's actually hilarious. Like you look at the Hot 100 in December, and it's all these songs. Like you have Brenda Lee in the top 10. You've got all because now they base it like off of airplay and streams and all that. And so Christmas songs from 50, 60 years ago even take over the charts for
Yep.
a month. It's wild.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. All right. Let's look at the board one last time here.
Got a commenter saying old school.
Old school definitely was.
I haven't seen it.
That could have been your
Will Ferrell
Will
one.
Ferrell pick. Yeah, I think
Huh.
it's better than Elf for sure.
I believe that about
Also
you.
gave us the line Colorado, the Sunshine State.
Yes, of course. Oh my God, I can't find the reads. Mace, take us to the next read.
All right, hang on. I think I got the file here. Going to tell you about Solace Meds, a new partner with 4 locations. Solace Meds is a dispensary with locations in Fort Collins, Wheat Ridge, one off Broadway in Denver, and one just blocks away on from DNVR Bar on East Colfax. And they've got some sales going on. Wild Night and Day gummies, 50% off all walnut, 25% off all open cured rosin cartridges, 20% off all green dot concentrates, 20% off 111 rosin cones, 20% off 10-cent pre-roll or 10 milligram edible when you spend $50. And if you go on over to their Wheat Ridge location, I'm going to say it like Stewie
I
Griffin.
really like when you do
Wheat,
that.
Wheat thins.
Cool whip.
Cool Whip. If you can't have a pie with that Cool Whip, they say we Wheaton. We're Wheaton. Cool Whip. But if you don't over there, Wheat Ridge location, you'll get a free Solace bar or King Cone. when you mention the magical code DNVR20, that code is going to get you 20% off everything at Solace Meds. But at Wheatrich, you're going to get a free Solace Bar King Cone with that. So don't forget the code. Don't forget it for a lot of reasons. First of all, it's 20% off. Second of all, then they'll know that your friends at DNVR sent you. And here's what you do. You go to solacemeds.com, SOLACE meds.com. Put your order in, get that code DNVR20 entered in there, then go to your nearest location to purchase it. And hey, you know what? Come on down to the DNVR bar and then go a few blocks on East Colfax, Solace Meds, get your fill of stuff, and then I'd say put it in your car, right? You can't bring it in the DNVR bar, but you do it after you go to the DNVR
No one's
bar.
gonna stop
Yeah.
you.
So check out solacemeds.com, SOLACE meds.com, with locations in Fort Collins, on East Colfax, on Broadway, and of course in Wheatridge.
Also, make sure you hit up DraftKings Sportsbook this weekend. Like we said, we've got the Open Championship going on. Golf betting might be the most elite form of betting because of how much it elevates like your interest in the tournament. Like I'm a golf fan, but I probably wouldn't have been waking up at like 7 a.m. just to turn on golf the last couple of days unless I had some money on it.
You should try it for soccer as well, because last night I had the U.S. giving 4.5 goals to Martinique, and they got a goal to cover at the end, 6-1. I've never been happier with a blowout.
It's like basically it's like handicaps in golf, right? It levels the playing field so that the end is interesting regardless. So yeah, you want to get in on DraftKings Sportsbook. And you want to get in on their one to win $150 this week on the Suns or Bucks. I've been saying it all week. Suns in Game 5 is my lock of the century. They are winning Game 5. I'm telling you right now. So if you want to put your one to win 150 on the Suns, you can do that. And of course, you can always get a sign-up bonus up to $1,000 when you use the code DNVR when you sign up. Of course, to get that, you must be 21 or older, Colorado only. Bonus comprised of a first deposit bonus and a first bet match, each up to $500. The deposit bonus requires a 25x playthrough and restrictions do apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
So if the Suns are winning Game 5, who's winning Game 6, RK Stradamus?
Probably the Bucks.
Okay. Yeah. Going 7 then.
Yep.
All right. I want to tell you also about the Colorado XOs, who finished up their season at 5-5. A great start for this brand new team playing against professionals in rugby that have been playing for years. If you haven't heard of the Colorado XOs, they're Rugby Town, the USA's newest rugby team. The Colorado XOs are athletes who have competed at the highest level of their respective sports. But hey, you could get in on it as well. If you're an elite athlete and want to try out rugby and want to try out for the Colorado XOs, you can contact the Director of Recruitment, Peter Pask. His email is ppasque@glendale.co.us. And if you just want to watch rugby, no problem. At Infinity Park, they've got Rugby Town's the Sevens tournament coming up August 20th through August 22nd. It's a great family outing for fast-paced rugby, adult beverages, and it's very affordable. And also at Infinity Park, they've got movie nights. Sign up at Infinity Park Glendale, or in Infinity Park at glendale.com/events to get updates. It kicked off this week with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, other movies coming. So
I haven't seen that one.
Check it out. They start at 6 p.m. when they have them. Great way to watch a movie on a big screen, outside, on the field with friends and family. And of course, don't forget about the DNVR Rugby podcast. Our guy Colton Strickler has everything covered. He's also on Twitter. Follow DNVR Rugby there as well.
For some reason, the Spider-Verse just made me think of the movie Eight-Legged Freaks. Did you ever see that one?
I did. I remember almost none of it.
I
remember like
There's
one
like a
image.
shotgun with like big spiders.
I remember William Shatner, Kingdom of the Spiders, 1977.
Wow.
Sounds terrible.
I can't watch spider movies.
What about Spider-Man?
Well, that's different.
Okay.
Spider-Man's actually my favorite superhero.
Wow.
Really?
In
But
a
you don't like
landslide,
spiders.
You got a little
No.
Peter Parker thing going on.
That's
I
thing.
appreciate that.
nice. That's nice.
Wait,
compliment.
which Peter Parker?
Tobey Maguire.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Famous
okay.
gambler, Tobey Maguire.
No, I would love to be a famous gambler.
Yes.
Hopefully for things going well.
Yes. Not well. I think
Gambling's the
things were
greatest
going
thing
well for
someone
him.
could do if they're good at it.
True. It's not gambling if you're good. All right, let's go into the final segment here, which of course is the red zone. We are going to have Spencer be the challenger here, heading into the red zone, going up against Henry in the first round. If you get past him, you get to take on me. If you get past me, Mase gets to mop the floor with you.
Deal.
I really hope we get to see that.
Deal.
I guess I also hope I win.
Just like you would mop the floor with me if we played golf.
Yeah.
Well, that would happen.
Everybody has their strengths.
Exactly. All right. So the first round is questions from the 2016 season onward. So this is the post-Peyton Manning era. First question. When the Broncos beat the Saints in the Superdome in 2016, this player shone a bright light as he scored his first career regular season touchdown. Who is he?
Can we both say it? Can I say it?
Yeah.
Will Parks.
I was going to say the same thing.
That
because
was a 2-point
That was
conversion.
a 2-point conversion. I realized.
2016.
Shone a bright light in the Superdome.
First touchdown.
Oh, I got it.
It's like Jeopardy. I give a
there's a
hint
little-
in the clue.
Yeah.
It took me a second.
I'm
but I
just
got
dumb.
Dude, I don't know. I don't have an answer.
All right.
Bright
it. I'll
light.
go.
You want another hint or
Jordan Sunshine Taylor.
Okay.
Sunshine. I love
I was
that
too
guy.
into the light mood.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that was my.
I kept thinking of Gary Brightwell, but he just got drafted and not even by the Broncos.
Of course, the pass thrown by Zach's guy, Trevor Simeon.
Yes. Trevor
Wow.
Simeon to Sunshine Taylor.
Yeah.
And they won that game.
They did. But everyone remembers Will Parks and Justin Simmons,
Yes.
like you mentioned.
Will Parks, did he step out?
No. No.
He wore the right color of shoe, I'll
Sure
say
did.
that.
Yeah.
Smart man, Will Parks, but we know that. Second question. Back in the 2018 season, the Broncos scored more than 27 points just once. Who was the opponent?
2018, you said?
2018 season.
The Arizona Cardinals.
Correct.
Nice. 45-10.
Yep.
Didn't Von Miller come out and say we're gonna?
I'm going to beat
Beat
their
their
ass.
Yeah. Real.
Love that guy.
Yeah. I like him saying that. I like the confidence. But Arizona was crap.
Yeah.
That game.
He knew.
Yeah. He knew Mike McCoy was the opposing offensive coordinator.
And Josh Rosen was broken.
Yeah. Has Mike McCoy coached again
No.
since that down?
Back-to-back midseason firings.
Yes.
You're done.
You're
Wow.
hanging him up.
I can't believe like he hasn't surfaced as like a coordinator at some
coach.
or some
Yeah.
college you find out, oh, Mike McCoy is the new offensive coordinator at Iowa State.
Yeah.
Well, Iowa State's pretty good right now. Bad example.
Maybe
Mike,
he just
Mike
wanted to
McCoy's
hang
the
it
new
up.
offensive coordinator at East Carolina. I'm surprised we haven't heard something like
You
that.
can only coast off of Josh McDaniels' Tim Tebow playbook for so long.
That's true. That's
He has
true.
not had another job. That's crazy.
He made a lot of money as a head coach, I guess, and I guess he's comfortable. Third question. In the last 5 seasons, the Broncos have recorded a sweep of a division opponent just once. Who was the opponent and what was the year?
It was the Los Angeles Chargers in 2019.
Correct.
Wow.
Nice.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
Yeah.
it. You're done.
Yeah, you're done. You're on to the next
You
round.
just got swept, son.
I know. I realized.
Just like the
Ryan.
Los Angeles Chargers in 2019.
Exactly.
Um,
Oh, yeah. You have the questions now.
I do have the questions, and I'm asking you two, right?
Yes.
Where
Wait,
do we start?
I feel like we
here?
didn't make enough. Good job, Spence. Way to move on.
Yeah,
to the
good
second
job,
round.
Spencer.
Thank
Way to beat me.
People don't get past the first round already.
I know, exactly.
Yeah, usually they're going up against Zach.
Yeah, Zach's a little better than Henry.
It's true. Let's start here. In the last 10 drafts, not counting this year, one Broncos second-round pick has made the Pro Bowl. Who was it?
Just
Justin
one.
Simmons.
Nope.
He's
Just
third
one.
round.
One in the
He's a
last
third
10
rounder.
years.
One in the last 10 years, second-round pick.
Okay, so 10 years brings us back to 2011.
Yep.
Second round pick.
Fun fact, 2010, Zane Beatles did it.
Oh, I know who it is now. Oh, I can say it?
Oh, well,
Yeah,
you probably got to give me a... No, because he
said
already
Simmons.
said a guess,
Yeah,
and
he did
I
say
haven't.
Simmons.
Yeah.
I can only think of one name, and I'm just very convinced he didn't make a Pro Bowl.
We might be on the same guy.
The only one I can think of is Derek Wolfe. And it's not.
Nope.
Oh, I know who it is now, I think.
Say it.
It's Cortland Sutton.
It is Cortland
Yep.
Sutton.
Oh, my
It
God.
is Cortland
Derek
Sutton.
Wolfe
yeah.
was the second guy I was looking at.
I just remember being like, we had a Derek Wolfe Ring of Fame conversation one time, and we're like, he didn't make a Pro Bowl. So, like, what was the only second, like, just because we said that was the only name that would enter my mind.
Let's keep going with the Pro Bowls. Outside perennial Pro Bowlers Von Miller and Champ Bailey, Who has made the most Pro Bowls for the Broncos
Chris
since
Harris Jr.
2000?
Oh, 2000.
Since 2000.
All right. Well, I guess Spence gets a guess here because I jumped the gun.
So outside of Vaughn
And Champ.
and Champ.
And for the Broncos.
And and for the Broncos.
So Peyton doesn't get it because...
No.
Yeah.
Was it Ryan Clady?
Nope.
Pro Bowls.
Can you tell us how many it is?
5.
John Lynch.
Nope.
Oh, it was 4 in 4 years.
4 and 4. Yep. I have a guess, but I'll let you guys.
I'm at a loss. I don't know.
Any
We-
final guesses?
We established it's not Chris Harris Jr.
It is not Chris Harris Jr.
5-time
5
Pro
Pro
Bowlers.
Bowlers in the last 10 years.
No,
since
2000.
2000.
In the last 20 years,
Yep.
5 Pro Bowls. DT?
Nope.
Is it Al Wilson?
It is Al Wilson.
One of my favorites.
Why isn't
too.
he in the Ring of
I
Fame?
know,
we
right?
We kind of know that things went sideways for a long time,
cares?
but
Get him
he's
in.
been back to the facility. He's back in the good graces. I know they had Peyton this year. Actually, I know they didn't want Peyton to share, but I think Peyton would have been perfectly fine sharing his Ring of Fame day
With Al Wilson.
with Al Wilson, his
Yeah.
college teammate. I
Absolutely.
think he would have loved
Oh,
that.
I didn't realize they were teammates.
Yeah, they're both at UT.
Yeah.
But
crazy
Al,
though.
but Al
that-
got the ring because he was a year behind Peyton. Of course, they won it the national title the year after Peyton graduated.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see which one of these. Oh, this one will be a good tiebreaker in case Ryan ties it up here. So we'll go with since 2010, which Broncos running back has the most rushing yards in a single season?
Oh, that's
Philip
good.
Lindsay.
Nope.
Peyton Hillis.
Nope.
Is that before 2010?
He was what, 2011 cover of Madden?
Yeah, he was in Cleveland by
I
then.
have it.
And he had his best season in Cleveland. Like his big year was as a Brown.
Willis McGahee.
It is Willis McGahee. That means we get to go to the bonus question, and this one's closest
Was
to the
that
pin.
the Tebow year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I should have known.
Closest to the pin. So, Demaryius Thomas holds the all-time record for receiving yards in a season. How many did he have?
For the Broncos,
Oh, for the Broncos. Forgot to throw that in there.
I'm going to say, whoever guesses first here is at a disadvantage. So we should both just blurt out our answer at the same time.
I like it. Tell me when you're ready, Spence.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
1,600.
1,579.
It's Ryan.
Yes.
I forgot to write down the answer. I'm pretty sure it was 1619.
Okay. Yeah. I've
But definitely over
1,600
1600.
really
Yep.
stuck out.
He had wait.
2 weeks ago. That feels not fair.
He had 16-19.
That was
That's a
that
really
was
prominent number
me
right
and
now.
Zach on that one. Oh wait,
Why
no.
is that?
Was Ryan on that one? Yeah, Ryan was.
16-19 project. It's got history and all.
I'm not familiar.
Anyway.
All right.
1619.
Well, you might be glad that you didn't pass me because you have no chance on any of these. But we always just let Mase answer them because it's fun to watch. So, Mase. In the 2001 season, 3 different Broncos quarterbacks took a snap. Name all 3.
All right. You had Brian Greasy. You had Gus Farrat
I think I know.
and Jarius Jackson.
That is correct.
Oh, that's incredible.
All right.
And who was the quarterback on IR that year? There was a 4th quarterback in that room.
Is that Berline?
Correct. Yeah.
In 1996, Terrell Davis went crazy with nearly 1,600 yards rushing. Who was second on the team in rushing that year?
Oh, man. I have a guess, and it's probably going to be wrong because I think I'm a year off. Derek LaVille.
No, it was a guy by the name of Von Hebron.
Von Hebron from Virginia Tech. Had a touchdown on a kickoff return 2 years later.
By the way, he only beat John Elway by like 6 yards.
I mean, TD was a horse then,
Yep.
man. Or a hoss, I should say. I mean,
all right, final one here. A Denver Bronco holds a share of the record for longest pass by a non-quarterback in NFL history. Who is it?
oh, God.
I have a guess on this one.
I don't think you do.
No, maybe not. Okay.
Arthur Marshall?
That is correct.
Oh my
81 yards. And I believe it was the first play of the game only because he was credited with a game started at quarterback that year.
Wasn't that the game one of the games where they alternated quarterbacks by play? That was the Tommy Maddox Sean Moore game against Dallas, I believe.
Yes.
Where Dan Reeves literally shuttled him back and forth every snap.
How long was that pass?
81 yards.
Okay. Because I remember Cortland Sutton threw a pass to Tim Patrick in Minnesota. It was
like
probably
60,
50.
It's like
yeah.
60.
Yeah,
That
it was a
That was
bomb.
the only thing coming to
Cortland
my mind.
also had a touchdown pass to it was a manual to Cortland in that
Yes.
Arizona game.
In that, yep.
And that was pretty long, but I want to say like maybe 40, 35.
Yeah, it didn't cover the whole field. Arthur Marshall,
I can't believe you pulled that. I didn't think you were going to get that one.
I knew that. I knew the play. I wasn't sure which of the players threw it.
So
And there it was 1 for 1 for 81 yards, and he threw it to Cedric. Now I never would have gotten the guy who caught it, Cedric Tillman.
Cedric Tillman, there you go. All right, this was fun as always. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Thanks to Henry for filling in for Zach. Thanks you to Spencer for being a great guest. Thank you to Mase for knowing everything. And thank you to Green Mountain Dental, one of our great sponsors here at DNVR. If you need any dental work done in the metro area, go on down to Green Mountain Dental Group. Schedule a cleaning, x-ray, and exam. They'll hook you up with a free Sonicare toothbrush to keep those teeth pearly and white in between visits. A lot of people in the DNVR family, whether it's employees here or just members of the community, have made the switch over to Green Mountain Dental. No one has anything but great things to say about them. So head on down to Green Mountain Dental, schedule a cleaning, x-ray, and exam, and get a free Sonicare toothbrush. That is going to wrap it up for what could very possibly be the last episode of Season 1 of Three Ring Circus. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next week.